We've got a great topic for you today, and it's how to program your mind for success. This is a favorite topic of mine, and that's because I love success and I love creating more success. Let me just say this though, success for me is in a lot of different ways. The most important type of success is my family, that we have balance, that we have unity, that we're able to have unhealthy conversations, and that we've all learned how to agree to disagree because we're all different. Those things are important to me. The other area of success is, maybe it's your career or revenue, and that you want to reach a certain goal. Some people think of a goal of how much money they want to make in a year or two. On the extreme side, you may be thinking about, how do I program my mind to create a legacy? Or how do I program my mind to create financial freedom? I bet you haven't even thought about things like that. You can also use this in your career, in your life, financial freedom, and even your health. And these are all things that we talk about in my book, Harness Your Purpose, Power, and Peace. And we think about health is, if not this, then what is it that, what more do we want from health, and how do we program our mind to get in a healthy state? So success for me is in all of those four areas and having balance in all of those four areas of our life, because you can't just be wealthy and not have your health, right? Because then it's really not being successful, at least not in my book. So success to me comes in a variety of different ways, and that's really when we have the ultimate life balance and happiness, because happiness is not something that we buy, but rather something that's inside of ourselves. So let's talk a little bit more about how do you control and program your mind so that you have success. I bet you didn't even realize that you had already programmed your mind. Most people that I can connect with, like yourself, they have programmed their mind for worry, the conversations that go on in your head repetitively about, the I can't do or the what if syndrome. You've probably even programmed lists in your head of the things that you have to do throughout the day. These are all areas of how we've programmed our mind, and it's taken time to get to where you're at to really have those abilities programmed. So now it's going to take a little bit of time to recondition what it is that you're thinking in order to bring about more success. The one thing I would suggest to you to get used to is a pen and a paper. It's a powerful thing to be writing stuff down. Not only does writing help your mind, but it improves your overall success. And so with writing, right, we want to be sure that we're emptying things in our thoughts so that it can allow new things to flourish in our minds. It's really key. So programming your mind to think. Have your pen and a paper. And the first thing that I want you to be thinking, right, we're going to recondition our thoughts. That's really what this is about. So yes, I can tell you to stop thinking everything else that you've thought before, but that's impossible, right? That's like telling an addict to stop drinking or to stop doing drugs or, whatever it may be. It's really hard. Stop smoking. That's a big challenge. So what we want to do is not stop something, but let me just put this in your mind, is that we want to recondition it to begin to think in a new way. And so in order to do that, it's important that you take your thoughts that you're thinking and you write them down, or you ask your mind questions in the direction of what it is that you want. The other thing that you want to know is, how do you know you've reached that destination, right? If you want to program your mind for success, how do you know that you've reached that point? Right? Because you can be making efforts and trying and so forth, but that doesn't mean that you've reprogrammed your mind. So write this question down. What should your mind be thinking if it wants to create success or have success? What destination are you looking to achieve in life? And then how and what should the mind be doing? This is so simple that it's hard, because as humans, you have a tendency just to get up and do. And so when we're reconditioning, it's like, this is a little bit harder than I thought. No worries. This is something that evolves. It's not a flip of a switch that you're going to be able to turn on and then all of a sudden, miraculously, everything's going to be different. But what I can tell you is that if you practice this through repetition, consistency, and focus, then like little bits of pieces of candy, that's what it's going to feel like, a piece of candy, because you're going to be like, or you look at this, feels really good. And I would encourage you to keep track of what I call your wins. When good things are happening in the direction of programming your success, track them. That's going to be one way of knowing whether you're reprogramming your mind, right? How many wins do I have today in the direction of what it is that I've done? And the more focused that you stay on those type of activities, well, you're going to see how your mind is going to start to recondition. In fact, this is funny. I have to share with you a story. I don't know if you know much about me, but at one point in my life, my mind was so out of control. Sleepless nights. If I got 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night, I was lucky. I used to keep a pen and a paper next to my bed, because if I woke up in the middle of the night and wrote down what it was that I was thinking, maybe I could fall asleep for another 30 minutes. But by the time I was 35, I was having a heart catheterization. And being 35 and having small children and your whole life ahead of you, it was a really scary note. In fact, I joke about it, but I mean this with sincerity. There was a memo that I received from the good Lord above, and he wanted to make sure that I understood it. I was living such a fast-paced life that if I didn't slow down, I probably would be dead today. And so that memo came to me in the form of having what I thought was a heart attack at the time. And that's not a place that I want to be anymore, until you come to this self-awareness of life is great, but I want more of life, or life is great and I want life to be different though, and here are the different ways that I want it to be different. And until you're consciously aware of it, then you just keep doing the same things over and over again. So reprogram your mind is going to take that time and that commitment and consistency, and it all starts in your thinking and changing the way that you think about your daily activities and where your destination is that you're going. So if you want to program your mind to be successful, where are you going? For me, I think about, and this is just an example, I want you to think so far out of the box. For me, it's about creating generational wealth, and it's about creating a legacy that I can leave behind so that people don't necessarily remember me, but remember what it is that I've done, and how many people that I've helped. And in doing so, what daily activities do I have to do in order to make that happen? What people do I have to involve in order to make that happen? And you start asking yourself questions. If not this, then what? And if you get stuck, no worries. Look, you can make comments below on this video or share with us an email or a post, and either myself or one of my team members will be happy to help you. This is so easy that it's hard. And when we have to start thinking from a space that's unfamiliar to us, it can be a bit of a challenge. But once you start to get it with a little bit of consistency, you're going to see how easy it begins to flow, and life begins to evolve in a whole new way. You're going to pinch yourself and say, wow, that's me. Well, if you like this video and you'd like to see more of it, or maybe another topic, please share with us. Please comment below, and we'll be happy to put together another video for you. In the meantime, reprogramming your mind to think from success is going to take a little bit of time, but I know you can do it.